spinning, washing your yarn. Rub-a-dub-dub, get that yarn in the tub. Why wash your hand-spun yarn? Well, this sets the twist in the yarn you've created. So lock those fibers together. Get them warm. It also can remove some bacteria that was left over from when the sheep or whatever animal was living its highest life out there in the pasture, in the sunlight, and in all of its glory. Another reason is it can remove excess dye. So if your fiber was dyed and there's just a little bit left, good idea to give it a quick little batharoo. So for this, you will need, of course, your hand-spun yarn, which you've created, a towel, preferably in a light color, a small bowl, some cold water, and some wool wash. Hello, and welcome to Yarn Spa. Okay, rub-a-dub-dub, let's get the yarn in the tub. Now, what I've done to start the process to set my yarn is I have filled up a tub with cold water. I've added half a teaspoon of eucalyptus wool wash. This is the eucalyptus scent, in case you are curious, with like a sniff-sniffaroo. Now, wool washes come in all kinds of different brands. I'm just using eucalyptus today. Now, depending upon the materials too, you may have to tweak some things. Now, this is a basic wool blend with a little bit of Angelina mixed in. So nothing crazy, but for silks, things like that, just be aware of what you have and what you might need to do. So I'm going to unwind this. Now, this had just come off my nitty knotty, and you can see I have a little extra spring here and there that I'm going to get out here in a little bit. So I definitely need to set this yarn. This is one of my favorites. This is Cloud 9. It's a light blue with little bits of yellow here and there. So I am going to put my yarn into the water. I'm not going to rub it. I'm just pushing it down to get some of the air out. Now that it's in, I will leave this for approximately anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, but I will do a quick spot check before I leave it. I checked the watercolor. Now you can see it's clear. If I saw there was dye in here, I might remove it and then wash my fiber in vinegar and then bring it back into the clear cold water. And you're probably asking why. If I see the dye leaking, I'm going to want to reset the dye. Now, I don't see the dye here, but it might not hurt to set your timer for 5-10 minutes just to check to make sure that nothing has changed in that time frame. Normally, you'll see it pretty quickly happen here, but there's always that one random scheme that it might take it a few minutes to release. But otherwise, I'll see you back in an hour. And welcome back. It's been an hour, in case you missed me. Now, I'm going to remove my yarn, put it in a towel, and I'm going to whack it in the towel. I do want to say this before I remove my yarn. Anytime I wash wool or I do any kind of fiber rinse, I don't put this water back down my drain. So I don't put it down my sink. I don't put it down my bathroom sink or bathtub. I take it and throw it outside on my plants, on the grass. I try and keep this out of the water supply. So that's why I don't put it back down my sink. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to put it in my towel and we're going to whack it. Move this up a little bit. And this is a clean towel. Now, I recommend using a lighter color towel. And you're probably thinking, why? So that way I can see if there's any dye that rubs off on here. Back so you can see it real quick. All right, I'm gonna make sure I grab one of the spots that was tied off my nitty natty. So you just bring this up. And I'm just pulling it down gently, just trying to get some of the water out. It's almost like you get out of the swimming pool, you gotta adjust your swimsuit bottom. A little bit of water in there, like that. I'm gonna fold it in half. Fold it in half one more time. My hands, I fold it in half. I'm not twisting it. I'm just lightly squeezing it from that water back out. All right. Move the tub back up and out of the way. I will bring my yarn down here into my towel. And I'll make sure there's a little bit of distance, especially at the top. My towel. And very similar to how you block your knits, I'm going to roll it up tightly. Yes, this squeezes some of the water out. All right. Gently. Some people whack their yarn on the side of their bathtub, side of a wall, outside, wherever. I personally like whacking it in the towel. So, only time I agree to yarn violence. Had a bad day at work. There. And you're probably thinking, why did you just do that in the towel instead of on the wall, etc.? I did this for a reason. Now, if I were just to throw this up against the wall, do you see how it rubs up against itself? There's not a lot of direction that I can choose for it not to either rub, which might cause some felting, or it might then cause some felting in some particular spots and not other places. So it kind of keeps it more consistent if I whack it in the towel instead of whacking against the wall, because the towel covers parts of it. So it's not allowing it to rub up against itself. All right. What I'll also do too is I'll give it a good pull. And pull. Now this one, I'm actually going to probably hang weighted just to pull out a little bit more of that spring. I have a tiny little bit left. Or I could wrap it back up and whack it again, which is what I think I am going to do. So there's no harm in that. Again, I just put my towel back up. Roll it back up. Make sure you have some separation there. And there we go. Now, the other thing to pay attention to before I go hang this up is look in your towel. Do you see any dye? So if I see dye around here, wherever I hang this up, it might drip dye. So if I see the dye in the towel, I'm going to make sure wherever I hang this up that I have a tub or I have a container underneath it to catch that dye. I don't want it dyeing my bathtub. I don't want it staining a sink. I don't want it staining a floor. So that is one quick little reminder there. I don't see anything here. So what I will do is I will go ahead and hang this up. And I hang mine normally in my laundry room or in the bathroom. It really just depends. But you can see too, after that second whack, it really took some of that spring right out. So I will hang my yarn to set. If I find that once I hang it up, I would like a little bit more, I can always attach a weight to it. What I can do is I have a PVC nitty natty that I can just hang on the bottom of it. Or you can also do clothes hangers. There's a variety of different things, home stuff readily available that you can use for weights. So this is how I set my yarn.
All right, and if we have made you happy today, don't forget to share us with your fellow Yarnsy friends, give us a like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay Lichtenstein, the founding director of Camp Yarnsy, wishing you and every Yarnsy a happy creative day, because once a Yarnsy, you're always a Yarnsy.